There's a reason certain people keep testing you. They don't go after everyone. They go after the person who explains too much, apologizes too fast, and second guesses their own no. And if that sounds familiar, it's not because something is wrong with you. It's because no one ever showed you the 5 boundaries that make manipulation impossible. Today, that changes. Boundary number 1: you explain yourself once and only once. Here's the psychological truth. When someone asks you why after you've already explained, they're not seeking understanding. They're seeking leverage. Every repetition gives them a new angle to twist, a new word to take out of context, a new emotional crack to exploit. Manipulators are masters of the re-ask. But why, though? I just don't understand. Can you explain that again? Sound familiar? This is a tactic called interrogative looping. They keep you explaining until you either contradict yourself or exhaust yourself into submission. Either way, they win. So the boundary is this: I've already explained my position. I won't be revisiting it. That sentence, said calmly, said once, cuts the loop. You don't need their understanding to hold your ground. Your no is a complete sentence. Your reason is a courtesy, not a requirement. And notice what happens when you stop over explaining. The people who respect you won't even flinch. The ones who lose control, they just told you exactly who they are. Now, if you're watching this and thinking, I already knew that one, stay with me, because boundaries 2 and 3 work together in a way most people never connect. And if you miss how they interact, neither works. Boundary number 2: you become the most boring person in their world. This is called the gray rock method, and it's one of the most powerful tools in psychology for surviving manipulative people. The concept is simple. A manipulator needs your energy to operate. Your anger, your tears, your defensiveness, your over explaining, all of it is fuel. Without it, they have nothing to work with. So you become a gray rock, unremarkable, unreadable, uninteresting. How was your day? Fine. You never care about anything. Okay. You're being so cold right now. I hear you. That's it. No defense, no counter argument, no emotional signature whatsoever. Now, here's where people get this wrong, and this is important. Gray rocking is not the silent treatment. The silent treatment is punitive. It says, I'm withholding to hurt you. Gray rocking is protective. It says, I'm withholding because you lost access to my inner world. One is a weapon, the other is a wall. Feel the difference? And here's the psychological truth. When you gray rock someone who's used to controlling your emotions, they will escalate. They'll push harder. They'll say worse things. They'll manufacture a crisis. That's not a sign it's failing. That's a sign it's working. You just cut off their supply and they're panicking. Your silence is not passive. It is the loudest boundary you will ever set. But gray rocking only protects the outside. What protects the inside? What you share, what you reveal, who earns access to the real you. That's boundary number 3. And if you gray rock without it, you're only halfway safe. Boundary number 3: you control what they know about you. During that gray rocking from boundary 2, while you're regulating your nervous system, notice something. Notice what they're fishing for, because manipulators don't attack blindly. They gather intelligence, your fears, your insecurities, your attachment wounds. These are all ammunition, and most people hand it over voluntarily. We call this emotional oversharing under duress. When stress triggers the fawn response and you start revealing parts of yourself to create closeness or diffuse tension, it feels like connection, but it's actually exposure. So the boundary is what I call the information diet. You become deliberate about what you share, when you share it, and who earns access to it. This doesn't mean becoming cold. It means becoming strategic. Warmth without walls is just vulnerability without protection. But warmth with discernment, that's power. Think of it this way: a locked door isn't hostile, it's just not open to everyone. Quick check. If any of these boundaries made you think of a specific person in your life, drop a comment below with just the number. Don't name them, just the boundary number. I read every single comment, and you'd be surprised how many of us are dealing with the same patterns. Boundary number 4, and I told you this was the one. You rehearse your exit before you need it. Here's what I mean. Most people set boundaries in theory, but collapse in execution. Why? Because the moment of confrontation activates the same trauma response that taught you to submit in the first place. Your body overrides your boundaries. You freeze, you fold, you fawn. That's not a failure of willpower. That's cognitive dissonance. The gap between who you've decided to be and who your nervous system still thinks you need to be to survive. So the boundary isn't just a decision, it's a rehearsal. You script your exit line, you visualize the conversation, you practice out loud, alone, saying, "This conversation is over. I'm choosing to leave now." You say it until your nervous system stops treating self-protection as a threat. This is what separates people who have boundaries from people who hold them. Knowledge without rehearsal is just a nicer way of staying stuck. Because when the moment comes, and it will, your body needs to already know the choreography. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's the preparation that makes fear irrelevant. Boundary number 5. You define yourself before they get the chance to. Every single manipulation tactic, gaslighting, love bombing, silent treatment, triangulation, has one thing in common. They all try to rewrite your story, to make you forget who you were before they got to you. So the final boundary is an identity anchor, a statement you come back to, not when things are good, but when they are confusing, when you start doubting yourself, when reality feels slippery, when someone's version of you starts replacing your own. Mine is simple. I trust my experience. 4 words, but they're the 4 words that no manipulator can survive. Because once you stop outsourcing your reality to someone who benefits from distorting it, the game is over permanently. You're learning to think for yourself. So let's bring it together. You explain yourself once, you gray rock them, you control what they know, you rehearse your exit, and you anchor your identity before anyone else tries to define it. These aren't just boundaries. They're the architecture of a person who cannot be controlled. If this video found you at the right time, subscribe, because this channel exists for one reason: to make sure you never hand your power to someone who doesn't deserve it again. I'll see you in the next one.